Hey guys, it's Will. In this video, we're going to go over APLD stock as it's been surging up to about $38 a share today, continuing that bull run that we were looking forward to after this recent correction. So they did end up using this previous resistance as a support. The data center market continues to surge along with almost all small cap stocks continuing to rally into Monday. So we've seen some interesting news. We know the tariffs got introduced on Friday, and then just shortly after, you see the markets after that big correction start to have a nice recovery. So long-term positions looking great today. We do have an open position on APLD that's up about 155%. So it's good to see. Now that you see APLD get up into $40 a share and now making runs to highs, continuing their trend, we can watch a few reasons why this is happening. The first reason is going to be the market. We've seen the data center market see tremendously more investments from big tech. Talking about Apple, Nvidia. We're seeing more investments from Tesla, and primarily big tech companies have basically doubled down on building data centers. So when we look at APLD, they have the focus on data centers. They are building data centers. They're engineered to bring workloads directly to the point of generation. So they're using energy directly from wind turbines and solar. And they've recently signed some deals to build data centers. And that includes AI factories for Coreweave and building sustainable safety in data centers over in North Dakota. And they've got partners with companies like Nvidia, Supermicro, and many more. Now, we've been covering them for a while. In fact, when we started covering them, they were really only around $3 a share. It was back here earlier this year, which the chart's not going back at this time. But we started covering them here around $3, and we were watching them kind of consolidate and maybe make a run here. And we continued to cover them in this trend, and we started buying in back here. And they've continued to grow. So 11% today, along with their earnings coming out this past week. So in StockMate, we just wrapped up our daily live trading session, and we were trading live this past week in data centers. We traded TSSI. We were trading, you can see Big Bear was up 13.7%. APLD has had increased revenues. So when there's hype, there's a lot of stocks to watch. You can invest in what everybody's telling you. There's a video every single day from everybody that's saying, buy this stock, buy that stock. Before it's too late, get in here. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm really just here to share with you that it's important to identify companies of integrity at this time. When stocks reach all-time highs, you want to invest in companies that have solid financials, that are bringing real-world value, not just that they're part of the market of data centers. But this company is part of the data center market, and they've gotten some deals in the $11 billion range there and continuing their revenue growth of 84%, along with their balance sheet surging up over $2 billion to $2.4 billion. Now, when we look at their growth and we see them continue to run, as of now, they could potentially still make those runs back up into that $40 range. They're already making that run right now. Short term, we could see potentially some corrections as we've seen, as it's been really volatile over the last few days. If you're in a short-term position, of course, you want to have a plan. But when we're looking at the financials, they look pretty good. We look at the recent news on the company. We've seen them come out with some deals there with Coreweave. That's $11 billion. They've come out with a $5 billion AI infrastructure partnership here. Okay, there's also another partnership that they came out with, a $3 billion Polaris Forge 2 campus, and these data centers are already going online. Says this one is full capacity by 2027. That's a big data center there. And the news indicates that they're seeing more growth. When AI scales, a lot of people don't realize that when, for example, I'm doing some analysis, let's pull up an analysis via Grok. This is the machine. This is an app that my team and I have developed. Allows us to visualize markets and search any stock with any model. Now, I'm not sharing this with you to, tell you this is a great product that you should have, although it is. And if you want to check it out, it's the first link below. So we launched beta. But I'm telling you this because we're using OpenAI, we're using Grok, we're using Claude, and I can tell you that, look, we only have about 27, maybe 30 beta users that are using our software here with Mercatus. However, if I go over and I look at what our usage looks like, you'd be surprised what it looks like. So take a look. This is just getting into October. We're on track to do about 15,000 requests via API just from Grok in the next 14 days. We're on track to do probably 100,000 requests per month. And how these requests work is they're fairly heavy requests, because essentially what we do is we in this analysis, we got some projections here for APLD, which we can go into. We provide the SEC data, we provide the insider trading, the real-time data that the model of Grok otherwise doesn't have, or that isn't considering the top hedge fund level data, and we put it into the model in that query, in that request for the investor. And so we do that with every model, the best models in the world. But I'm just telling you, like, if we're using 15,000 requests, investors are using just on Grok alone per month. And then that's not including, OpenAI and Claude and Gemini from Google that we've recently added. I can tell you the demand from the APIs, from the servers, from the data centers for AI tools to, in this case, I'm talking investors. Like, imagine how much usage is over on ChatGPT, or how much usage is over on, Grok in general. But like, I can tell you firsthand as a AI company founder, the demand is very large because of the power of AI and what it's doing. And so when we look at the data center plays like APLD, it makes sense that they're growing because they're building that infrastructure. They're helping these big tech companies to be able to deliver the AIs and make powerful AIs that can, for example, make investors more money because they can do the analysis for you. In this case, we're looking at, APLD, and it's doing the analysis for us. And we can see on the future chart and projections that I didn't have to go through all the technical analysis. I didn't have to go through the press releases. I didn't have to go through the insider trading or any of that SEC data. Of course, I can go view it here if I would like to. Government shutdown data. The model did that all for me. And so models are saving a lot of time. Maybe you use it to write emails. Maybe you're using it for streamlining investing like we're doing right here. But nevertheless, the power is very clear. And so APLD is basically selling the shovels to the AI companies and saying, we'll help you build these data centers. And they're getting rewarded as a result. So that's why we see them lead the AI market. We've been talking about them for a while, and we see them continue to run up 11% today. So here are the technical levels and kind of the plan with APLD. We've seen them consistently uptrend from these levels. Higher highs and higher lows, stair-stepping and using previous resistance as support. Then we saw them have this correction on Friday and continue back up, validating that previous resistance as a support, that green line. See that SMA, a lot of times it's going to act as a support. When it's bullish, you can kind of see that support level, a little bit of a cross below when they were bearish, but overall holding above that green line. When we see it holding above the blue line too, as well, this EMA, we're looking bullish. Now in a bearish situation is when it crosses below. Right now it's holding well above, and it's gotten up to these levels, made that 17% recovery over the last 24 hours. And resistance levels are right here around $39 a share. Now it did just get recently rejected. You do see a smaller trend kind of happening here that potentially would materialize something like this. You have this kind of uptrend in this 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 greater uptrend. There is a smaller uptrend here and potentially sell back down into this $36 price point before continuing up, $36.50, somewhere like that, if we're going to see conservative, steady growth, and that would be healthy as well. So overall, we see it at a resistance level, $39. Nearest support level, where is it going to be? It's going to be that previous resistance level at around 37 bucks a share. So 37 bucks a share, you can see some resistance here. That's going to be the next level of support here, about 37, so 36.75, maybe $37, this range right here. It's going to be that support level today. We'll see how it holds around 37. If it can hold that $38 price point. Resistance, again, $39 a share. So kind of watching that on APLD. Long term, we're holding our long-term positions. Short term, like I said, maybe we see a correction back down to that $36 range. Don't have any short-term trades happening with APLD at the moment. But if you ever wanted to see how we enter long-term and short-term trades, companies like Rigetti and Quantum or data centers, even if it's space tax companies like Black Sky. And we're going to see if any more opportunities present themselves on the shorter-term trades for entries. We do go live every day at Market Open. If you ever want to join us live, it's the second link in the description below. We're up right now tremendously on the year, and if you'd ever like to see how we identify these companies, you can always see our entries and our exits live Monday through Friday at Market Open. We post the earnings for the week, and you get a free t-shirt when you join. So I'd love to see you there at Market Open tomorrow. It's the second link in the description below to join StockMate. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Let me know your comments down below on APLD. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.